Welcome back to Drawing with My Cats. In today's episode, we draw an amazing work of art with markers. Well, I tell my story of survival when my wife and I were stranded in the middle of nowhere with a broke down car and no cell phone service. Let's draw together. The colors that you'll need for today's drawing are black, orange, red, yellow primrose, sky blue, lime, hot pink, and light purple. All right, I hope you guys are ready to draw something super fun and creative today. We're going to do 2 full-size abstract paintings using our markers today. You guys saw the colors that you'll need in the intro. We're going to start with black. My name is Brent, and these are my cats, Leo and Eli. And welcome back. Let's draw together. Take a deep breath of fresh air and focus down here if you guys can. You have your art supplies ready? Just some regular Crayola markers and some printer paper. All right, let's get started. So we're doing 2 full-size abstract marker paintings today on 9 pages of paper. We're going to put each one of these paintings together in time lapse. We'll start with our black marker. You guys ready for this? It's going to be fun. Okay, so our first drawing today, you start like we always do. This channel is always about paper spinning. So we're going to be spinning the paper as we draw. Start in the middle with your black marker and curve out. We're going to be drawing a spiral and blocks pattern. So you guys, I think you're going to like what this looks like. We're only using black for this whole drawing, our first drawing, and then the second drawing is going to be all colors of the rainbow. These guys are loving our video already, and I hope you guys are too at home. Let's keep going now. I'll keep the tutorial going as you guys watch and draw along. We want to come back to the middle and curve out. Come back to the middle and curve out. Come back to the middle and just, you want to make sure you're curving so that you're getting spirals, because we're going to have a big spiral here. You guys relax and watch, or feel free to draw along with me today. So I come back, I'm leaving a little white space in between. Can you guys see that okay? There's always going to be some white space. That's going to be what creates this kind of spiral pattern. You're going to want to get right in the middle again and curve. Make sure you're curving so that you get it. It makes it look like it's all moving. That's what's kind of cool about these drawings. You guys know we may make beginner style simple art on this channel, but when you guys see it all put together in time lapse, you know it's worthy of gallery art, right? So that's what's really cool about this channel, is we do make all ages drawing. Even if you have some skills to be able, as a painter, you can come onto this channel and see some really cool stuff. And that's what it's all about, you guys. I've heard a lot of you guys mention that a lot of these drawings that we make might almost look like they'd be quilt patterns. So if any of you guys are know any quilters or anything, maybe you could show them or give them these ideas. My grandma made beautiful quilts. I always used to love to go up into her sewing room and watch her work on her quilts. There are these huge pieces of fabric that she'd have stretched all the way across the room on these hangers, and she would work on these things. It was just amazing to watch her craft a quilt. We're just being quiet and enjoying this moment together of relaxing. You guys know the first drawing that we do together that we're going to do today is all about a tutorial. I'm just showing you guys as we draw. So we keep, watch, I'm coming back to the middle and swirling out. You guys are seeing this cool picture take shape right before your eyes. We turn a blank white piece of paper into something awesome. You guys know, as I always say, art is our unifier. Art is what brings us all together. And we sure need it nowadays in this world is crazy. And so we can all have this moment of peace and quiet and relax together. All right, you guys, just like that. We have finished our spiral drawing, and then we'll do our blocks drawing. We're going to put this together in a repeating pattern. That's the style on this channel. So here it is. That's what you'll have for your first drawing, just something simple. But wait till you guys see how the second drawing brings it all together. I hope you guys are doing great. The channel's growing. So many of you guys have left comments on the channel. You're also such beautiful souls. I thank you. I appreciate all your loving kindness, because I've gone through so much adversity in the last 3 years trying to keep this channel going, and your guys' love and support means everything. All right, so for our second drawing, black marker, we're making blocks. So what you're going to want to do for making blocks is you just don't worry about the rest of the paper. You want to make a square. So you're going to go, just start drawing some squares on, like that. So let's show you another one. We'll draw some squares on here. See how we're doing? We're just keep your marker, lay it on its broadside so it almost becomes its own ruler. It doesn't want to like, I don't know, mess up too much. It keeps it straight when you lay it on its broadside. So we're just drawing some squares on here, different size shapes and rectangles even, if you guys can see. We're just doing it like that, just kind of putting all these squares on here. You can put them anywhere, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I do these tutorials to share art and inspiration and creativity with all you, and many of you are beginners, and you've been messaging me about how much you're enjoying drawing for the first time. And that's why I started this channel. It wasn't about any monetary reason at all. I've been doing this for 3 years and haven't made a single dollar from YouTube. So it's all about inspiring art and creativity and bringing peace and calming comfort into your life. That's what art does for you. You don't have to be the greatest skilled painter in the world to do it. And everybody has a right to try and make art. That's why it's a healing for a lot of people. It helps bring self-esteem and just gives us peace in our life. All right, so we got our squares about drawn. Let me do another one right here. This is kind of a rectangle shape. We're just moving through this first drawing because the second painting that we're gonna do is amazing. You guys are gonna love it. It's all rainbow colors, but this first one's all black. So you'll have some squares all drawn on there like that. I call them blocks because this is a spiral and blocks drawing. You just want to start going through there and just color around your blocks. Just keep coloring around your blocks, no rhyme or reason to it. You might need a couple markers to get the drawing dark. I won't color all this in because I have an example off to the side real quick. So just see how I'm doing it, you guys? Just keep coloring. This marker's just about out of gas. Just like all our other markers, this is our marker graveyard. All right. Anyway, you guys can see I was coloring around all those squares that we made. Let me show you what that looks like when you're done. So you have all these blocks. So we're going to take our first drawing that we have here. This is the fun part about our channel, you guys. We get to put this amazing pattern together on the floor in time lapse. You ready for our first one? And then we're going to come back and draw another whole new picture. We're doing 2 today. This is just a warm-up. There's our blocks that we did, and then here's our spiral. Let's put this together in time lapse and see how you guys like it. I'll see you back here after you see it. Check it out. All right, so what do you guys think of that? Our warm-up wasn't that bad. It was pretty cool. So now we're going on to the good stuff. I'm gonna tell a little story. You guys know I tell some stories. The first drawing's kind of a tutorial and warm-up, and now we're gonna tell a story as we draw, but I'm gonna get you on this tutorial. We're doing a rainbow weaving and a rainbow pom-pom. We're gonna make an amazing painting out of it. So start with your sky blue marker. You guys have a cozy drink at home that you might want to take a break and have a sip of. I know a lot of you are messaging me and you're all drawing with your grandkids. One of you even made a outdoor drawing area outside and made some beautiful decorative area outdoors to get the kids out in fresh air and share art. And that's wonderful. So I don't think it gets any better than that. So have a sip of your drink. All right. Have this coffee. It's delicious. Okay, we're gonna do a rainbow weaving. What we want to do is we take our sky blue marker. We're gonna work our way this way, weaving color together. This is a whole nother painting now. just start looping with your sky blue marker. Can you guys see okay right here? I'm just drawing sky blue. And to get sky blue, you have to probably buy the big 40 pack so you can use some of these different colors, but that's with our sky blue. We'll take a little bubble gum or what they call hot pink. We'll put this on here and we're gonna just keep going and making this pattern, and then we'll do the second drawing. But as I draw this, you guys follow along and I'll tell a story that's heartwarming today. The last couple stories that I told were funny and just unbelievable stories that I shared with you guys, but today's kind of a heartwarming story. It's a true story, something that happened to my wife and I. We were out on a drive one time. We found out that there was a big forest down the road, a public forest that we could go to, a 500-acre forest with all ancient trees. And we were kind of interested in learning about trees because, you know, you drive down the road and you see trees and you don't know what they are. I don't know what a lot of trees are. Of course, I know maple and oak, but this forest was well known for having 300-year-old tulip poplar trees. And a tulip poplar tree, if you guys don't know, is the tallest tree around in my area where I live, and it grows. Can you guys believe that a 300-foot tree would be full of tulips? You guys should look it up. In the spring, it has all orange tulips all over it. So we went to this forest and we did this hike, and we got to see these beautiful trees and all this nature in the middle of nowhere. There was no one else in this park. There was no one around. And we got back to our car, and my wife went to start our car after this beautiful day of hiking and seeing these trees, and turn it over and nothing. Yeah, our battery was dead, and we were in the middle of nowhere. Oh, if any of you guys have had that happen, you know how scary that is. And we had a cell phone, but guess what? Of all things, what would happen? We were not in cell phone service because we were so far out in the middle of nowhere. We had no cell service. I just want to point out an unusual thing has just happened. Leo is the last cat on the table. For you guys who pay attention, if you guys can still see him, he's usually the first one off. He stayed for the whole treat today, and Eli ran away, so good for Leo. But anyway, yeah, we were in the middle of nowhere. Car wouldn't start, and nothing you can do. You're stuck there. So, and our phone wasn't working. So I told my wife, Stephanie, I said, I'm going to walk, and I don't know how long it's going to be, but just sit here in the shade by our car and just wait, and I promise I'll be back sometime. I didn't know where any houses were or anything, so I started walking. Oh, you guys, we're just working our way back with, just keep laying that in there like that. You guys can kind of see what we're doing, just looping back, creating a rainbow weaving. And so I started walking down the road, and I have this horrible fear of dogs, like being in an area where there's some dogs, because everyone has dogs out here in the country, and like one's going to get loose and attack you. You know, I've always had that fear, but so far so good. But I don't know, some of you guys might have that too. But anyway, I started walking, and I came to a house that was on the road. Finally, after about an hour of walking, I saw this little old ranch style house with an old car in the front, like an old 70s Malibu classic, and didn't look like they had, you know, they were stable, but you know, not wealthy or anything. And so I went up to the door and knocked, and the man answered, and he just looked at me, and he held up a phone like, why don't you, and I held up mine, and I said, I don't have service, I can't call for help. And he said, and then he just said a couple things, and he stayed back, and then he came out, and I said, my car's broke down, I have a dead battery, can you help me? And this man, he'd had to do this a couple times before, I guess because he was the only house that lived by that park, and so he was kind enough to trust me. I could have been anybody, and I'll tell you, thank God for good Samaritans. And he took me in his car and gave me a ride down to the park where my wife was in our car with a dead battery, and he had jumper cables, and he jumped our car, and we thanked him, and we said we appreciate it. And he left, and we drove to AutoZone, and we got a battery put in our car. And a couple years had gone by after this happened, and I couldn't get him out of my head when someone steps into your life that bails you out of a jam like that, you don't forget. Anyway, our first drawing is done. We're going to move on to our second one while I tell the rest of this. Isn't that cool, you guys? Just doing your rainbow weaving. We're going to draw a rainbow pom-pom as I finish. So you guys heard, sum up the story. We broke down. A Good Samaritan from his house helped us get our car started, and we drove to AutoZone. 2 years had gone by, and I couldn't get the thoughts of this guy out of my head. He was probably 85 years old, and his wife was probably 80 years old. They were elderly people who lived on a fixed income. And I kept thinking about him. A thought came to my mind that was saying after a couple years, let's take them some food. Let's go ahead and do this. You guys want to loop out with yellow? Let's get this tutorial going, then I'll finish the story. Just start looping out with your yellow, looping and spinning. Loop and spin. Kids, I hope you're following along too. You guys, you can learn this. You guys will be great artists when you get to be my age. All right. And even you guys who are older, you guys taking up art for the first time in your life will give you something new and fun to do. I love that. We're just swirling out with our yellow marker. We're going to continue this swirling with different rainbow colors. Let me show you what that looks like so you guys can see what we're doing. We're making a rainbow pom-pom. You'll see it when it's done. So I gathered up all the food from my pantry and all the food we had in our cupboards and whatever extra food that we could spare. My wife and I were also on a fixed income, and I knew what we had to be done. There was this thought that kept coming back on my mind because there was something that this man had told me. This man told me that he had done this twice before for other people that had broke down by his house, and they never thanked him. They never said a word. He took them back to their car and let them use his phone. He said one of the guys even just walked away, just handed him the phone and walked away. They didn't say anything. So it had been on my mind, haunted me, that these people didn't thank this man for doing what he did. So we gathered all our food up. After 2 years of not seeing them again, I had my 4-year-old son in our car, and my wife and I drove to their house, hoping they were still alive in there. I went up to the door with a full load of groceries in our car, went up and knocked, and the same man answered that door. He was a little bit older looking, and his wife was behind him. And he looked at me like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And I said, "You're the one that helped me 2 years ago when I was broke down. And I wanted to thank you. I have some groceries I'd like to give to you." His wife started crying. I'm trying not to get too emotional either, but kindness like that is just sharing kindness and love with one another, and not even knowing each other. It was a beautiful thing. So anyway, we took in three boxes full of groceries, and his wife was already putting it in the cupboard while we talked, and he kept saying, "Man, you guys are welcome. I see you have your son." And he said, "Come to church with us, and why don't you come over and we'll grill some hamburgers in our yard, and we'd love to tell you our stories and get to know you." And I was very busy back then. I worked in a high-rise corporate office with my wife. We both worked together, and it was very stressful and hard, and we were just so busy. We never went back. I gave them the food, and they said thank you, and it was a beautiful moment, but we never went back, and that was the last I ever saw them. And a couple weeks ago, my wife and I drove by their house. We drove by their house out by the park. We have a new car now, and we drove by their house, and we looked in, and their car was gone, and their house was empty, and it was for sale. So I'm kind of haunted by the passage of time and how things change in our life, but I'm just grateful for the fact that we shared some kindness with strangers. And I hope this story inspires you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. But we're finishing up our little rainbow blossom. I know I didn't do as much of teaching this as I should have. I just wanted to tell that heartfelt story today. And anyway, We got our rainbow blossom done, and I hope you guys enjoyed the storytelling and the art today. We're gonna take this drawing, our rainbow blossom that we just finished. I hope you guys practice that. It takes a little work. I know you guys can do it. Don't give up. We'll take our rainbow weaving. We're gonna put these two drawings together in a beautiful art pattern on the floor in time lapse. I'll see you guys back here after you see it. Check it out. What do you guys think of that? I thought that was beautiful. All those bright and beautiful colors, and we made that ourselves. And you guys can do that too. Draw this, tape it together, and hang it on your wall and be proud of it. Well, thanks for drawing along with me today, you guys. The channel keeps on growing. I appreciate all your love and support. I hope you guys feel inspired and creative. Get your art supplies out and draw yourself something beautiful today. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and we'll make another amazing marker painting together. Love and peace, everybody. In that last video, you guys were all commenting on how you enjoyed relaxing in my front yard in this peace and quiet, hearing the birds and enjoying the art show that we did. I just wanted to tell you guys that memberships have now become available for my YouTube channel, and we have our first member, and I wanted to do a shout out to you. Hi Cheryl, thank you for becoming our first member. You guys, memberships are available, and at the end of every video I'm going to thank you all for supporting and enjoying my artwork in this channel. I'm going to do shout outs to you. Whoever becomes members, I'm going to say your name right here in this beautiful front yard of mine. So we have our first member. If you guys would like to support the channel a little further and become a member, I'll shout out your name at the end of every video. And thank you all for your love and support of this art channel. Let's keep it growing, everybody. It's growing fast, and I remember you guys. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Love and peace, everybody.